Greetings, Diocese of Spokane, and hello from Virginia Theological Seminary. My name is Tricia Lyons.
And I'm Lisa Kimball, and we are very excited to be joining you soon for the weekend that our presiding bishop, Michael Curry, will be with you. We have the privilege of being with you on Saturday and presenting a keynote address, which will be the marriage of formation and evangelism on our sacred journeys. And then following that keynote, each of us will lead a workshop. I will be leading a workshop going deeper into the question of formation. And I think particularly that story in the scripture when Jesus comes up on the disciples and they are fishing and their nets are empty. And he says, cast them to the other side. There's a little word in there. They do cast them to the other side and the nets go deeper. I'm hoping that in our workshop, we can look particularly at what it is that is preventing Christian formation in your context being an experience of transformation and depth for people. It's my observation across the Episcopal Church that too often our Christian formation practices with people of all ages is too shallow. And I think our opportunity is to listen for the still small voice of God and find ways that are very distinct and particular where we are to follow the way of Jesus in ways that change lives forever. So I can hardly wait to be with you. I'm also the director of Baptized for Life, and I'm looking forward to being with you and the 4 congregations in your diocese who have been walking with us for 4 years now, thinking more deeply about what it means to be a baptized Christian.
And my part of the keynote and then a workshop later in the day will be on evangelism. And for some of you, that's a word you're allergic to, and for others of you, it's a word that describes you, and some of you are somewhere between those two extremes. But I'm hoping that we have time to go deeper, and I agree with Lisa. Our observation of the church is that quite often what's keeping churches from living into the full call of the full humanity of every person in the congregation and a loving, real presence of Christ in a community, what keeps people back is not some spiritual warfare, quite often forces from the outside, but it's shallowness.
It's mediocrity.
And mediocrity and people are working really hard. I mean, that's observations and research that we'll share with you. It's not that people aren't working hard. But we have to find a way to work in ways that are faithful and that are informed.
And joyful.
And joyful, because they will know we are Christians by our love, not by our exhaustion. So it's a hard time for all of us with COVID, with the war in Europe, with the pandemics of climate destruction and structural racism. And so many of you who are leaders in our church are just trying to keep up with the needs of the community, with your own personal needs. So we know that we're coming at a tender time where people are starting to gather again. We can't wait to be in a room with you, to sing with you, to pray with you, and to realize that God's dream for our joy and liberation is as powerful, a magnet pulling us as it ever was. So we hope to help your diocese and anyone who comes get more sort of aligned with that pull, the gravity of love. And the way of love is what it feels like to be pulled. So we can't wait to spend time with you. We are honored that you and your bishop have trusted us to come out and share some ideas. We're praying for you. We're praying for the time, and we will see you soon.
Be well.
Thanks.